Hey guys, hey girls, hey boys. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a first impressions on this new no filter collection by ColourPop. I picked up the foundation, I picked up the translucent powder, the concealer, and I picked up the pressed powder. So I had a knock on my door and all this came in the mail and I was like, you know what? I'm sitting down, I'm filming it, I'm doing it. So that is what I'll be doing today. Not so much of a tutorial like a whole eye look, just pretty much a first impression on what I think of this collection. I'm super excited for you guys to see the results and what I think about these products because honestly the price points on these products right here are amazing. So if you would like to find out my thoughts on this video, keep on watching. But before we start, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell so you get notified every single time that I post. And without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Before we go into any face product, let me put these little cat ears on to get my hair out the way. And recently I've been using this Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream. I've heard that it is a dupe for the Belif Aqua Bomb, which you guys know I use all the time, although it could get kind of expensive. Like buying that huge one is $60 compared to this, which is $20. So I've been using it for 2 days now, and honestly the consistency is just as good, although the scent, there really isn't a scent, but the other one just smells so good. But it's okay, I can pass on splurging $60 just for the scent. So I've been loving this gel cream, moisturizer, whatever you want to call it. It's super refreshing because I like lotions that are kind of like water-based, I guess. Not really water-based because that kind of dries your face out, but I don't know how to explain it. This moisturizer just makes your face feel super fresh. And yeah, and it's only, actually no, I said $20, it's actually $15. If you go to Target and you purchase it there, just scan it with the Cartwheel app and then they'll match it to the online price, which is $15. In store it's originally $19, just a couple dollars off, but it still saves you money. So yeah, there's a tip for that. So I let my face dry. Okay, so now that my face is moisturized, I'm also gonna moisturize my lips. And recently, I've also been loving this lip product right here, which is the Kapari Lip Glossy. This lip glossy isn't really a lip gloss, it's more of a moisturizer. It has coconut oil in it and it moisturizes your lips so good. I love it. It smells so good, it feels so good. So good. Okay, so now that we are fully moisturized, I'm going to go ahead and prime the face. And to prime, I'm using my Smashbox So Chill Coconut Photo Finish Primer Water. You guys, I love primers that are just super easy to apply. I recently tried out the Professional again. I used to hate it. It's cool, it's good, it does fill in your pores, but honestly this is so quick. Just spray your face, primed, super tacky. I love it. And after I spray it, I like to fan myself so it could fully dry. Alright, so now my face is moisturized and primed. Now on to the fun part. So I was about to film a different makeup look, but then my package came and I was like drop, I am filming a ColourPop first impressions. So I'm so excited. I picked up a couple things from ColourPop. I got these right here. So I got the No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder, although I'm a little upset because I ordered the shade medium, but they sent me the shade light. I don't know, I emailed them telling them they sent me the wrong color, but I just compared it to my MAC powder. The MAC powder, I'm usually a C4, and this is the light one, so I guess they kind of look alike. I don't know, I just get a little scared when it comes to powder because I don't want no flashback, and I also don't want to look too white. But I think honestly it'll be okay. Because what if I order the medium and it's too orange, you know? I don't want to be so difficult. So I think I'm just going to try the light one. I don't know if I use it. We'll find out. We'll find out what happens. So yeah, I picked up that pressed powder. I also picked up the No Filter Setting Translucent Powder, which I am excited about, although it is a lot smaller than I expected, especially for a translucent powder. But for the price, cannot complain. And then I picked up the No Filter Foundation, which I am super excited about. I love the little star packaging. The bottle is super cute, especially for only $9. Whoa. Especially for only $9. So if this works, Ooh, $9 foundation, girl. I hope they sell at Ulta. I heard ColourPop is sold at Ulta, but I haven't gone to my local Ulta. I just ordered online, which I probably should because it's kind of hard to match when you order online. And then lastly, I picked up the No Filter Concealer and I got the shade Medium 20. I hope this matches me. Like, again, it's kind of hard to shop for concealer because obviously you want it to be lighter than your foundation. So the foundation is medium 90, the concealer I got is medium 20. So I was kind of comparing it to my Shape Tape, and the Shape Tape is a lot more yellow than the ColourPop one. It's a lot more pink, and I don't like pink undertones. So let's pray that this works. We'll see what happens. So going straight into the foundation, like I said, I picked up the medium 90, and this ColourPop foundation has, let's see, it has 0.85 fluid ounces. I don't know how it all works with the pricing and size, but honestly I think this is a good size for the price that you're paying. And since I ordered a lot of stuff, they sent to me a ColourPop foundation brush. I mean, I could apply it with this, but I can't really rub it in. Okay, whatever. So I think what I'm gonna do is one side I'm gonna use a beauty sponge and the other side I'm gonna use a makeup brush. I normally use just a beauty blender for foundation, but recently, like 2 days ago, I started using a brush and I was like, oh, actually, I'm dropping everything. And I was like, oh, it actually looks good. Now I see why people use brushes. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's just see how this pump works. Okay, so you just turn it and then there we go. Okay. Whew, let's hope this works. Okay, so it does look a little yellow for my skin. It's so hard to shop for foundations online. Okay, let me take my beauty sponge. Okay, so far this says that this is supposed to be a matte foundation. No filter foundation. It's supposed to be like semi-matte, right? But honestly, I feel like it's matte because when you first apply it, it feels really like dry. People are saying it's watery. Let me see. Okay, yeah, it is watery. Okay, as for the coverage, it's not super full, but it also isn't light. So I guess I would say it's like a medium coverage. Let me just blend it down my neck. My skin does have a lot of redness, so I gotta make sure I apply a lot, especially in this area right here. Now for the other side of my face, I'm going to use my Real Techniques buffing brush. And again, just apply it with the ColourPop F16 brush. And then blend it out. Okay, so I'm not really liking it with the brush at all. I feel like it's making my skin look really dry. So I'm gonna go in with the beauty sponge. I don't know, it might be a hit or miss for me when it comes to brushes and foundation. I don't know. Most likely I will use a beauty sponge. So this coverage is more of like a light medium coverage, nothing super full. I mean, I think if you keep layering on the foundation, you'll get that full coverage because I noticed that I needed more coverage like right here, so I just kept applying it and it was great. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this concealer. This is my first time using the No Filter Concealer as well, so let me go ahead and do that. Ooh, okay. I think I see where the hype is coming from for these ColourPop concealers. Okay, so what I do notice with ColourPop is that in order to get more coverage, you just keep layering on the concealer as well as the foundation. Like I said, for the foundation I needed some more coverage, so I went ahead and went in with another layer, and honestly it went to my liking. So here are my thoughts. Before I move on to the translucent powder and the pressed powder, I want to say that the foundation as well as the concealer are great. I would say it is a light to medium coverage for the foundation. So I went in with one layer, then I noticed that I needed some more coverage, so I went in with another layer. And I honestly like it better with a beauty sponge rather than a brush. Maybe if you use the brush, you'll get a lot more full coverage, but I'm not really a fan of that like super full coverage. I feel like I don't really need it, so I'm not going to go ahead and just make my face look super like, I don't want to say cakey, but if I use a brush, I feel like I get that cakey look. So I don't know, it's just my personal preference. But also for the concealer, I know everybody knows the concealer already, but it's my first time using it and I'm honestly so impressed. I always use my so I always use the Tarte Shape Tape because it honestly gives me that bright under eye with like good amount of coverage with only using a little bit, which I love. I don't like to go in with a lot of product because by the end of the day it's super cakey and you can just tell that you have a lot on. And as for this one, I noticed all I have to do is go in with like 3 little lines, blend it out, and if I need some more coverage, I'll add some more right here. And my skin just looks super airbrushed. I'm really liking this. At first, I was a little skeptical because I was like, ooh, it's kind of light. You can still see my redness. But then, like I said, I went in with another layer and oh, I'm so impressed. So let's move on to the translucent powder. Okay, so moving on to translucent powder, this is the translucent powder right here. So let me compare to a regular translucent powder. So this is the Laura Mercier powder and this is the ColourPop one. As you can tell, it is a lot smaller. But like I said, for the price point, you cannot beat it. So if this is good, if it is good as a Laura Mercier powder, you got a winner, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was watching some reviews and I heard that this translucent powder is not so translucent. It does have a little tint to it, which I love personally. I love the Laura Mercier tint because it has like a yellow skin tone type of tint, which is my skin tone. So let me open it up and compare. Okay, yeah, so right away, since I already took the plastic part off, you can tell that, oh, I can't. Comparing the Laura Mercier powder and the ColourPop one, they do have the same tint. Let me see if I can focus without dropping. Okay, yeah, so as you can tell, they do have the same tint, which is getting me excited because like I said, if it's the same thing, I'm gonna be so excited because it's a lot more cheaper. And if you can save a couple bucks, why not? So I'm going to go in with my beauty sponge and first blend out to my under eyes, make sure I'm not creasing on both sides, and then take some on the beauty sponge and then just apply it under my eyes. And I like to pack translucent powder on my nose because throughout the day my nose gets so oily. Oh my god, it sucks. Like my whole face could be matte and that'll be like the one oily thing and it looks so gross. I hate it. Pretty much just put the translucent powder on the areas that I get like the most oily, so which is on my chin, on my forehead, on my nose like I said, and under my eyes because you want to make sure you set your concealer. So as you can tell in the camera, I honestly like how it sets. It looks super matte, although I feel like the Laura Mercier, I'm comparing to Laura Mercier powder because that's my favorite powder. Obviously I'm going to compare those two because it's my favorite, but the one thing that I noticed about the Laura Mercier powder is it does like kind of give you a layer that like fills in your pores. As for this one, not so much. I mean, it's not enhancing the pores or anything, but I feel like right here, if you like look really close, honestly for $9 you cannot beat it. If you want a translucent powder for like a drugstore brand, I would definitely recommend this powder. So yeah, that is my feedback for translucent powder. Now let's move on to the no filter pressed powder. I think this would honestly be good. Like comparing to my face, I think it'll match. Okay, so this is the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder. And to apply this powder, I'm going to use my e.l.f. complexion brush. So it is super sheer. Like, you can't really see it on here, but let's see. Usually I would just go in with translucent powder and just set it all over my face, but for the sake of this video, I want to go ahead and try this out. I'm trying to switch up my face routine a little bit because I noticed, like, with translucent powder, it kind of gets a little too much for me throughout the day. Like you can see it breaking apart, but I'm pretty sure that's with every makeup product. Like if it's been a long day, it's obviously gonna break apart. So yeah. So my face still feels tacky. I don't know if it's supposed to like make it not tacky. My skin looks super good. At first I felt like the foundation was a little too dark, but I always like think ahead before I put concealer. Obviously the concealer is gonna balance it out. It just looks super airbrushed. It does look super, it still looks a little dewy right here, which is good because that's where I put my highlight, but everything else pretty much looks good. Ooh, okay, ColourPop. As for this powder, I wouldn't say you need it. Like if you're gonna buy it, go. Like no, it's not something you need. It's just like any other powder. I guess this is good like for on the go if you wanna like touch up on your face, if you're getting a little oily, but it's good, but it's not something you need. But I feel like I would use it again for makeup routine, especially on the days where I just wanna do something super lightweight. I think this will be a good product for you. So yeah, that is my opinion on this one right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and speed up the rest of the video where I bronze and blush and highlight, and then I'll be back with my full thoughts on this no filter collection. Alright, so it took me about like 30 minutes to finish the rest of my eyes. I was kind of like singing and taking my time. So let me look up close. My face is not super matte. Again, I think this foundation is like a semi-matte. I'm not really sure on what it is. I don't remember them saying it's a matte foundation though. Although my face does look dewy, it's not a oily dewy. It makes me have like that healthy glow, which I love. I don't like, I'm dropping everything. I don't like when my face is super matte or super dewy, so I think it's at a perfect like point. So honestly, I would recommend this foundation, especially for the price point. Like I said, I cannot stress this enough. As for the concealer, I noticed it is creasing a little bit. This is my first time using it, so I don't know. I really like the coverage, but I feel like it's creasing. So I'm not too sure if it's the translucent powder or the concealer, since it is my first time using both. But I will try it again. It most likely is a concealer because obviously the powder will set it, but my under eyes are creasing a little bit, so I don't know how I feel about that. But overall for the foundation, I really like it. The translucent powder I would recommend because the price point, it is super similar to the Laura Mercier powder, although it does not fill in the pores as the Laura Mercier one does. And as for the pressed powder, like I said, I don't think you need it. If you want to try it, go ahead, get it. It's super inexpensive, but you do not need it. It's just like a powder just to pie yourself if you're getting oily, I guess, throughout the day. And yeah, so overall, I would recommend the foundation. I would recommend the translucent powder. The concealer, I'm gonna give it another try. I know everybody loves concealer, so maybe I'll try it with a different combination. We'll see. And the powder, it's a yay or nay type of thing. You don't really need it in your life, but if you want to try it, go ahead and try it. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to do a first impressions. I got all this in the mail and I was like, I have to film a video on this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you would like to see in the future. Please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to mine and Angel's channel, which is M&A Forever Ever. Also, when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that little notification bell down below so you get notified every single time that I post. Stay bloomy, and I'll see you in my next video. So thanks for watching. Bye!